We normally don't have technical issues, but today, because it's rainy and it's October. So the spookiness is coming to the Ghost in the Machine. So thank you guys so much for joining this week. We'll probably have a little bit of a shorter meeting today. Joel and I are both giving a tandem presentation, and for me, it's a 9-slide presentation, which is very, very short for myself. If you have any questions, feel free to toss them into the chat window. I'm happy to follow that. We're also recording this, so I'll send out the link to see the video a little bit later. Hopefully that helps. I'm going to be talking about Gumroad, and Joel will be talking about WooCommerce. And these are two online platforms that you can use to build your own store, to sell your own books, to sell your own physical products. A lot of people are starting to go wide with their authorship. That is meaning they are not exclusive to Amazon. And in 2 weeks, we have Linda, who's going to come on and give us a great talk about going wide and what that means and how to do it and what are some of the gotchas around that. Today's talk is a nice kind of corollary to that, where we help you build your own store. Not that you need it to go wide, but it is something nice to use, and it's a nice thing to have. It's not a must-have, but it's something that people who go wide ultimately end up putting together on their website. So I have a question, Linda. Did you get any traffic from Gumroad, or is it all you pointing to your store? It's a good question, Linda. I get all the traffic. I point to Gumroad, and so people go to Gumroad. Gumroad is not doing the work not doing any heavy lifting for me or any marketing. Gumroad is really just the place and the service that they provide in order to sell things, and we can go into more depth about that. So Gumroad is a platform. It's a website. If you have heard one of my earlier talks about BookFunnel, you can think of it very similar to that, but for a store. Sorry, I'm going to cough. I can thank my children for the multiple colds I've gotten in the last 6 weeks. No COVID, but lots of colds. Gumroad is a platform that allows you to deliver digital products, but also sell physical products, and also do membership services. And we'll talk a little bit about that. It's a place for people to go and make a purchase. They handle the credit card transactions. There are some fees associated with that, and we'll go into depth about that. But Gumroad is basically a website very similar to the KDP dashboard or something similar to the Draft to Digital that you may have heard before. They provide a service for you to build a storefront, and I'll show you what that looks like. Just got a BookFunnel thing going, free coloring book, cool. So let's go ahead and get into it. I know what I'll do is I'll make my screen large. This is the slide I always show. I always keep coming back to it. There are various elements in your digital author ecosystem. This is for your online presence, not necessarily your physical presence if you go to sell books at events and whatnot. But book distribution systems is a big piece to you as an author. We were talking a little bit earlier with Robert about some of the issues he's having with KDP. Locking down your book distribution options, locking down the ways that you sell books and how you push new books out is a very important thing, because you are the author, you are the business, you run your platform. You have to do this work unless you have a personal assistant that does the work for you. Not many of us have that. We have to know these systems. Gumroad is one of those things that I use to have my own store. And this would be separate from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Draft to Digital, who also sell my books or will sell my books. Amazon sells my books, but all those platforms will sell my books. And now this is another way for me to sell my books. And we'll talk about why that's kind of important. So why go wide? I'll give you a little bit of short thing, but Linda will do a better job in 2 weeks. The idea is that there's more than just Amazon. If you are exclusive to Amazon, there are perks associated with that. But some people have found that those perks are waning over time, and it is more beneficial to use the many, many different platforms and the many different Amazon alternatives that exist across the entire world. It does give you global access to many platforms. So if you think about it as a pie chart, Amazon owns a big piece of that pie chart, but there are other companies who have customers like who use Kobo's platform or Barnes & Noble's platform or some of the European platforms or Apple. they have their own customer base, and you then get access into those customers and potentially new readers and new fans. It allows you to get access to a larger total available market, the TAM, if you want to get into corporate marketing speak. The total available market is bigger when you go wide than if you were just exclusive to Amazon. It also gives you more options to download, consume, and read your product, whether it's a different type of e-reader. There are different e-readers out there in the world, and those tend to be tied to platforms such as Kobo or Barnes & Noble. It also allows you to free up what you do with your lead magnets and actually what you do with your entire catalog in order to build your newsletter, to build your fans. It gives you total freedom on what you do with your content. Amazon, by going exclusive, restricts how you can distribute some of your content, and that can be negative in your potential marketing. So it can hurt you in what you can do. It can hurt you in the options you may have. And so going wide allows you to do literally anything you want. And it allows you to be more creative with respect to your marketing, whether it's giveaways, freebies, author events, newsletter swaps, things of that nature, writing with other authors, writing in anthologies together, things of that nature allows you to do a lot more. So going wide is a very powerful thing, and this is something that I'm doing right now. I'm transitioning my entire catalog into the wide, and I'm using exclusively Draft2Digital to push that out to the various platforms, but I'm also using Gumroad to have my own store. So why does your own store matter? Well, this is great because there's no gatekeepers. Amazon isn't telling you that you can't sell this book. Barnes & Noble is not telling me I can't sell this book. Gumroad does not care what I sell, and I'm able to distribute that there through that platform. Has anyone seen more benefits than Amazon through other platforms? Curious, like no gatekeepers. Has anyone seen more? I believe Linda can probably talk about that next week, about selling wide. She's probably the person who's sold most wide here. I think Susan also as well. So maybe we can hold off that question in 2 weeks, and Linda might be able to answer that a lot better. So why does your store matters? Well, it allows you to do advanced releases to your readership. It allows you to do better payment rates. So obviously that's really nice. So we'll go through some of the payment stuff a little bit later. It gives you a little bit of more money for your sales. Also, your customers. It helps you gather your emails. If you sell a book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Kobo or Apple, you don't know who that customer is. You don't get access to them at all. That's proprietary to their platform. If you sell your book on your own store, you get access to that person's information. Allows you to market to them, allows you to give them additional offers, things of that nature. Also, a closed ecosystem. You have your website, you have your newsletter, you have your store. This is something that you own and you control. And this is a very powerful tool. If you build a nice following, you can market your content and market your writing directly to your customers. You don't have to worry about using somebody else. Now, I know Gumroad is a separate entity, and it is kind of a third-party company, but integrating them with your website and your newsletter, gives you the complete control over your customers, the readers who are following you. Also, they offer, if you have your own store, you can do your own analytics. So where are your sales coming from? Are you tracking where they're clicking from? Where are most of your people coming from is an important piece of information for you. If you're seeing a lot of people coming from your website or from a newsletter, I got to increase I need to increase the effort that I have on my newsletter. Or if people are coming from YouTube, I need to increase my presence on YouTube because I see people coming from there. So that's important information to know. So what is Gumroad? Gumroad allows you to sell and deliver digital products online as well as physical products. They do support physical products as well, but that means you're shipping it to your customer. They take online payment, and they also support PayPal payment. So if somebody pays something, it will be deposited into a PayPal account. I know a lot of us use PayPal to handle our business transactions, both at physical events and also online. So they support PayPal. It allows you to customize your store, the look and feel. So if you have a certain look and feel on your website, you can mimic a lot of that look and feel on the store as well. Allows you to collect emails. And again, collecting emails because you are getting the transaction, you own the store, you know your customer, and that's an important thing for you to do. And also they support short links for your directly to your store. So if you say, hey, go to my store, it's not gumroad.com/50, letters that are all camel case and people can't type that in. They do give you short links like matthewbuza.gumroad.com. And that's a very easy thing for people to see. And it's a more trustable link if you paste it into like a website or if you paste it into like a social media platform or something of that nature. Products on Gumroad. So there's basically three options. They call Classic, Pre-order, and Membership. So Classic means that you can sell digital and physical products. These are, in our case, it would be digital books. You can deliver PDFs, Mobi, and EPUB formats. You can deliver, a Word file if you have to as well. I don't have an answer to the audiobooks question. I don't know if there's a cap on the file size. I would have to get back to you on that. But I would direct you to BookFunnel, who supports audiobook delivery. So if Gumroad does not support audiobook delivery, BookFunnel can do that. And so you can combine the two, and I could talk a little bit about how we combine our digital products with our YouTube courses, and I'll show you how I use two platforms to kind of deliver a seamless product to the customers, and I could talk a little bit about that. So you can deliver digital books and print books. Print books is just like a digital sale, and then you get an address to mail the book. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. And then it also allows you to account for shipping and addresses, and I think it takes taxes out as well for whatever region around the world it is, so you don't have to worry about that. It allows you to do pre-orders, so you can sell your products before the release. So if you can imagine, you can do a pre-order on Amazon, you can do a pre-order on some of the other book platforms. This Gumroad allows you to do this as well, so you can take advantage of that with, if you have a newsletter or if you have fans on your social media page and they want to buy your book ahead of time, it's available there as well. What's cool about the pre-order is that you're not going to run into any of the issues with respect to, I missed my publishing date. You can push the publishing date a little bit easier. Amazon's a little bit hard-nosed on that. They don't want people pushing pre-order dates very much. Otherwise, they put you into the pre-order gulag, which is where I am for a year because I missed a pre-order date. So definite gotchas there. They also support membership. So if you can think of this in terms of something like Patreon or some recurring payment service, we probably all have subscription services to, say, Netflix, Disney Plus, or maybe some product that razors or whatever it is. If you can set up a membership option for people, maybe $1 a month, and then they get a ton of your product, or maybe you're writing a serialized story that you're going to release over the next year, and you want people to be able to support you in writing that, you can create a membership product as well, and it allows people to get access to content on a recurring basis and products that are on a recurring basis. So definitely a cool item, a cool wrinkle with respect to that. So what do you need to upload your book? So very simply, the PDF, the EPUB, and the Mobi files for your books. And why that's important? Well, when you're going wide, you don't want to just put up a Mobi file because that's a proprietary file format for Amazon. And if you have an Amazon reader who's buying your books off of EPUB, off of Gumroad, you want to make sure you support Kindle formats. But also there are other e-readers out there that use more open formats such as EPUB. And you want to be able to support them. So you might want to make sure that you have EPUB and Mobi are the digital formats, and also PDF. I notice a lot of people will ask for PDFs of your books as well, especially if you're delivering it digitally like this. I know BookFunnel likes to have that as well. You want to make sure you have your book cover, you have your book blurb. You can also include images of the books. So this is something that other platforms don't allow you to do, like on Amazon. You can really customize the landing page to look really exciting and different. You can have artwork from within the book. You can have images of you holding the book or the print version of it. You can embed videos. You can embed reviews. It allows you to really customize the landing page to sell the product. And also you need to know how much you want to price that book, whatever that might be. Yeah, so you're right. Now Amazon's Type A allows this type of content. You're right. This has been a change just recently that Amazon is allowing you to to put more content in here. But this in this respect, it is really just like a big blog post where you can put pretty much anything you want into the window. So there's a question around the PDFs of their books because of theft problems. I understand a lot of concern with respect to people stealing your books. And I don't mean to be facetious, Linda, because I think it's a really good question. But that's something I don't worry about until I'm making a lot of money. And even when I'm making a lot of money, I still don't care. And that's just my opinion. Because if somebody wants to steal my book, they're going to steal my book. There's nothing I can do about it. And my books are already on pirate websites right now because I used to do free promotions through Amazon, and then they take those books down for free promotions and they put them up on the pirate sites. So there's really nothing I can do. And I'm somebody on a tech side of the house that there's really nothing you can do to stop people from stealing your books. So if it really shouldn't be a concern for most people, that would be my answer to that. I think if you shouldn't really waste too much time worrying about people stealing your stuff. That's something for like Stephen King or Nora Roberts to worry about. You know, I think for most of us in this room, we just want to make money, and I think there's a long ways between now and worrying about piracy for our books. But it's a legitimate question. If you feel PDFs are not something you want to give away, then you can obviously strip that out from giving that away. But also, people when they get it here on Gumroad, they're paying to get access to your PDF. So how to check the pirate sites? You got to know where they are and how to do it. So you can do there's a lot of torrent sites out there where you can get it, but there's also a few other book sites that are just direct downloads. I won't link them here because I don't know if I want to be, if I'm breaking some felonies or something like that by linking it. But there are websites. Next, pricing. So the biggest question is, hey, Matt, this Gumroad thing sounds perfect. How much does it cost? Well, the great thing about Gumroad and why I really like it is that there's no monthly fee to use this. So there's really no barrier to entry. Now there is a more advanced thing where you get a little bit more features, and that's $10 a month. I wouldn't really worry about that. I do pretty much most of my work on the free option. Then, well, how do they make their money, Matt? Well, great. They make their money when you sell books. And so I have the rates here starting. It's 9% plus 30 cents on every transaction. If you're using PayPal to do your payments and payment processing, they drop that a little bit. And then the rates go down as you sell more and more total aggregate dollars sold. They will lower the rate as well. So for example, if you sell $1 book like we do on Amazon, I think Amazon you walk away with about 30 something cents, depending on the size of the book and what region you're in. But if you do it here, you will double your money straight up. If you do a $1 book, a $3 book, you make about $2.43. So that's a pretty nice increase in your sales. And so if you can drive sales to your own store, you'll see an increase in the number of sales that you have there. Also, I think a lot of readers don't mind spending the money and going to a different site if they know it helps you earn a little bit more money. Great question. I'll get to that one, Diane. So if you tell your readers like, hey, you can go to the stores that you like to buy your books, and that's great. If that's what you like, you go ahead and do that. But if you want to support me, I earn a little bit more money if you go to this website. A lot of people will actually make that choice and say, I don't want to give all my money to Bezos. I'd rather give it to you and Gumroad. And if it means you make a little bit more money, I'm happy to do that. They take Visa, they take all the major credit cards, so it's not a big deal. The next line, support pay what you want model. And I am a big fan of this, just personally, is the pay what you want model. And I'll tell you why. Most people who are going to buy your book are going to spend the money anyways. Some people, there's a small section of people who will not buy your book because $3 is too much for me to justify. But I'll kick you $1. I don't care about that. You're able to, I think, garner more payments if you allow people to choose what they want to pay. And then a lot of people are going to choose free. And that's fine. I'm okay with giving my books away if you want to choose free, because I get something regardless. I get your email and I get a way to contact you, and I'll add you to my newsletter. And maybe the next time you'll actually spend a little bit of money. I also like pay what you want because you can come with it with a message to say, I'm here to write content and I want you to like what I write, I think it shows there's a lot of honesty and authenticity when you do that type of thing. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but this is a model that I will go with actually with my writing when I get all my books up onto Gumroad. I'll show you what I do for my podcast, and we use the pay what you want model there. And I do see people about half the time they will take the free option, and that's fine. And most half the other time they'll actually kick the money. And very rarely do I see anyone actually choose the, say if it's $8 or $0, do they choose like $5? Very often they either pay for it or they don't. And for me, that's okay, because I'd rather gain you as a subscriber in my newsletter than to lose the sale. Hopefully that answers that, and I'll show you what that looks like. I think there's a level of authenticity there that endears people to you as an author. Does anyone pay more? Yes, I've actually seen somebody double the price. Yes, it does happen. So there are a few people out there. A weekend store. So what does that mean? To set up your Gumroad store, you might be thinking, oh, Matt's really smart, ish. They don't really know how really dumb I am. But, oh, he knows what he's doing. I can't do this. It really actually takes just a few minutes to set up the account, to set up all your payment options, connecting it to your PayPal account or whatever it might be. And then it takes a few minutes to set up your book, because a lot of times we already have that content because it's already up on Amazon. We can copy and paste our blurbs. We already have our files. We load that up. We have our covers. We have links to our website. No big deal. It actually will take you about an afternoon to set up, I would say, a dozen books. Really, it doesn't take that long at all. So you can have a store in a weekend. You'll have your short link. You'll have everything available. And get the look and feel what you want, so it supports the branding as you want it, and you can do it basically in a weekend. Oh, hello. Somebody asking a question? I think it's Robert. Right. Robert, I'll mute you. Go back to the Sox game. So basically in a weekend, you can have this set up. You can have it linked on your website. No big deal. Let's see. I have now. Oh, and that's the gist of my talk. So let me just show you what it looks like. I'll go to Homeschool Together for our website. We have a link up here on the top right for our store. When you click on it, it takes you right to here, which is our Gumroad store. On the Gumroad store, we have 4 items. This is for our podcast. We have Game Break, which is just kind of like a one-day unit study for kids. And then we have these resource guides that we sell as well. You can see here the 0+, 0+, 0+. Those are the pay-as-you-want model. And then we have this thing, our Trello video series is a kind of an advanced course that we did, and that's $8. So that was flat. We wanted, because we knew some of the people who were going to get this were not homeschool families. So we make all of our content free for homeschool families if they want. And then we have a big, when you click on it, you get the cover, and then you can see here, you got the title, who it is. And then we have this statement about why we do the pay what you want model and why we think it's important. We have some details of what's in the book, some links to our website if you want to have a little bit more information. You can have some details about what's in the book or what's in the guide. It tells you the size of the file and how many pages it is. And then from right here, you can actually go ahead and put in what you want to pay. So you can say 0, say I want this, or you can say 5, or you can say 500, whatever they want to pay. It's pretty straightforward. When they click on it, they go through the payment process, and then they get a link with the link to download the digital item. So if anybody has used BookFunnel, it's a very similar process there. And then you can obviously fill out your entire catalog of all your books. You can build combinations as you want. So that means a week for the rest of us. Yeah, maybe, probably to get it going and be comfortable with it. I do encourage everybody, whenever you do set up something like this, that you immediately get a copy of, actually go through the whole process of what the reader's going to experience. So actually buy your book, go through the process, see if you like it, see if you can tweak it, improve the process, whatever that might be. Yeah. That is, there was a little bit of guilt in there, a tad. The messaging is important. So hopefully that kind of gets you guys excited about creating your own store. It's actually a very simple process. Obviously, we put our branding in the item. People can follow you. So if you put something new on there, they'll get notified to do that. And then there's obviously the other options that you can explore that Gumroad has with respect to the membership. And the other thing, there's the question about how we handle the delivery if it's an audiobook. So for example, right here on Trello step-by-step video series, what they're buying here is very funny. So you can see we have an embedded YouTube video here in the product page, and you can see they're buying a 1-page document and it's a 1 megabyte file. So what are they buying? They're actually buying a direct link to our website where we host the unlisted videos that are on YouTube. So on YouTube, you have the ability to have a listed video, which means it can come up in any search anywhere within YouTube. Then you can have an unlisted video. That means unless you have the direct link, nobody can find it. And then there's the option for a private video. That would be kind of another third option for YouTube. So we made all the videos in the advanced, the course here. We made these unlisted, and then we embedded them onto our website on a private page. And so when they buy this, they get a document that gives them a link to go to the website. And then in the document is a password and username to then get access to that page. And then on that page are all 15 videos. And so that's how we kind of got around with not having to buy a course software or, do something complicated. We're able to host it on our website and on YouTube. And then we used Gumroad to deliver the link and the password to get to the page. So that was a way we kind of get around that. Does YouTube charge you? No, the YouTube is free. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So we used YouTube for free to host all the videos. We made them unlisted. We then on our website created a page, embedded all the videos there. We made that a password protected website. And then we put together the Word document or the single page item here, and we put it on Gumroad. So when people buy it, they are able to get to the page and watch the videos. So hopefully that it makes the answer. So Diana, to your question, if you're going to distribute the audiobook privately through your own hosting site or maybe your website or through Dropbox or through BookFunnel, whatever you end up wanting to do, you can sell it here and then gives the link for the user to go out and download it. It's kind of kludgy in some respects, but if you are using a service that alleviates some of those problems, that might help you. So hopefully that answers your question in a roundabout way. Cool. How do you keep people from posting the link? We put a nice comment in the document that says, please don't share this. That's, again, it goes back to my stealing thing. If somebody wants to steal it, they can steal it because they're not going to be people who, are going to pay anyways. What the 0+ button looks like? What does that mean? So you're talking about how to buy it? That's $0. Let me go back to so here's an item that's set to be 0. So you can see here, what do they see when they click it? Oh, okay. So if I say 0 and say I want this, so then I have to type in my email address to complete my purchase. That's I think for free. And then if I choose $1, it then asks me to put in the credit card information. Capital One kicks in there, but it allows you to put the credit card information and say, give me that $1, and they go ahead and do that transaction. And then what's cool about it is you as the author get notified every time there is a sale. And so you actually see it. So you'll see it come into your email, whatever account you have associated with your Gumroad account. Hopefully that answers your question. It's actually a very quick process. You saw how easy that was. They just put a dollar amount. You can even just set it to $3. You don't have to do the pay as you want things. If you just say, hey, this book is $3, when they click, I want to buy this, they have to input the credit card information. Can you watch over time?
Basically,
yeah.
Can you see how many of your the ones you've carried, and allowed to be free, how many of them do kick in over time, etc.?
I'd have to look in the analytics. I haven't really paid attention to that exact question. I know exactly what you're asking about. I don't know if you can look at like how much a single entity, like when I know in the analytics thing, you can see all the customers, and I don't know if you get a tally on how much they've spent or look at them over time. I'd have to look at that. I don't have an answer to that one. Sorry. How are sales tax handled through Gumroad? They handle it based on the location. I think they do basically an Amazon thing. They know where the buyer is buying from, and I believe they take tax out on their end. Any other questions? And or otherwise we can kick it over to Joel. Yeah, so okay, the question around the SSL certificate. Yeah, that's something you have to talk with your hosting company. I haven't paid for it yet. I know I need to do it. It's on my list. I haven't done it, so sorry about that. So yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. Joel, how are you feeling? How you doing? Do you want to share your screen?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, are you feeling lucky, punk?
Yeah.
Well.
All right. Do we go to share screen now?
Yeah, let's let the ghost in the machine do her thing. Hey, no problem, guys. Thank you. Hopefully, you're right. Bluehost does give you a free SSL certificate. So, all right, we can see it. It's all you. I'll go on mute. I'll go on mute. Thank you, sir.
Okay. A lot of the features that Matt had talked about are pretty much in parallel here. So I don't really, I mean, I'll kind of go over everything briefly, and I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of how you set it up. But we have the WordPress, our website on WordPress, and by adding over here the WooCommerce plugin, it allows you to set up a store. So, wait a second. This is all right. So this is on the right here is what the site looks like to the customer. And so if we go to shop, here we have the 3 books, Rare Blood, Rhapsody in Blood, and Gift of Blood. And then I also did packages of the first 2 before the 3rd one was out, and then added the 3rd. One of the things that's nice is they do, when you have the commercial package, if you already have WordPress, the basic, and you upgrade to the commercial package so you can do this, they give you 2 sessions to help you set up. And they really walk you through it. So I was able to get it set up having had no clue in an afternoon, because they take, you go to the page and they kind of walk you through it. So here are the list of pages, but not all of them will appear. Like Matt had mentioned, the unlisted. So for digital copies, I have a few pages that are connected through BookFunnel. So when they go to that page, that we'll give them the link. It'll take you to one of those pages on the website. Thanks for purchasing, to redeem, click on it, and then I put a little plug in there to ask them to do a review. And when you click on there, it takes you to get my book. So probably, I think Matt has gone through this before on BookFunnel, that again down at the bottom. So that takes care of digital. Yes, you can. Well, this is the hidden listing on our website. So, these other ones you don't see them up here. So in order to book funnel doesn't make it public, right? Okay, so on the app, the plugin, here we go. And I'll walk a little bit through how the orders work, but here's a list. These were just, I was testing some things, but here's the list of the orders that were placed. And if you click on the order, then there's the order that Dahlia placed. So and this is all collected, will be collected through as they make their purchase. So the billing and shipping, and then your subtotals, totals, all of that appears. I haven't used the function. I do it separately, but you can generate a shipping label here too. The other interesting thing is you can also do a coupon, and it can be specific for a specific period of time to a specific product. So the product IDs, I use the last 3 digits of the ISBN. So I've got it up for the 3. So the code, the coupon code is Vampire. It's a $5 discount, and it'll function for those 3 particular ones. So it's just a matter of filling it in. You don't have to set this up. It's there already. So you just need to fill it in. Now, so, and then here you have, again, just filling in. You could shipping. We do as you can see here, a flat rate of $3, and we use media mail. So I think one book goes for like $3.25 or something, and if you add books on it, like if you put a second book in, it doesn't double it. It adds another 20-30 cents. So I just did the flat rate. Taxes. We haven't been adding the tax on, but you can. I have it disabled, so you can just enable. So it's all toggled, and then customer shipping address. So they'll look up and figure the tax on it. And where do I want to go here? So if we go to, oops, what the customer would see, wants to buy a book, Rare Blood, add to cart. Now there's another, and I don't really need to go back to it, but we've got it added to the cart already. And on the other page, you could go directly to view cart, but rather than going back. So here we go. So it's the price of the book, and if you go down, flat rate of the $3. If we put in apply the coupon, it'll take that off. And then you have your total. Go to checkout. Fill that info in. They'll fill that info in. And then now we do it through PayPal and direct, and this basically goes direct. It's just a direct link to PayPal. So it's 2.9% and 30 cents per transaction. So, and also through them directly, they've started taking payments too, and they charge the same thing that PayPal does. So it's, do you limit shipping to, I don't know what that was.
Continental US.
Yes. Yeah, we really haven't had any international requests at this point. So, you know, it's pretty simple. Proceed to PayPal. And you probably all have done this. Now, if they have a PayPal account, great. If they don't, they can just directly use their credit card, fill in the info, and pay. So it's pretty simple. If you want to add another product, and it can be books, the physical books, it can be digital, any other product. The take is 2.9% and 30 cents. So here you just add whatever the product name is. If you want a description in there, your price, you know, you can download an image from your computer, or I've already, for various things, have uploaded, so you can just pick a particular image, click on it, and it'll place it for you. So it's all pretty quick and simple, you know, like anything else. Just that first, getting that first product set up, of course, you know, is a little dicey, but they were super helpful, walking me through it, getting that done. And like I say, you have two, I think they're 30-minute sessions that they'll help you out with, and the customer service people have been pretty awesome. So we were able at the Arlington Street Fair on Sunday, the last day, we had run out of books. I mean, literally sold everything. So I was taking prepaid orders. People just, they prepaid. And you asked about, do we try to entice people? Yes. If people come up to, we've had amazing success with that. It's pretty interesting, because I did set up to be able to also sell digital copies, but people would come up at the events to the booth, and they'd say, they'd look at it and they'd like it, and they'd say, well, I usually read digital, and I just came just off the top of my head one day, and it works almost all the time. I'd say to them, well, that's great, except if you buy it digitally on Amazon, you can't get a signed copy. And they'll stop for a minute and think, and go, oh, yeah. And no, we don't charge anything extra for the for inscribing them. But I mean, they are paying the shipping on that. And we had pretty good success with that. And then just going to put up the analytics here for a second. Okay, so the spikes about half of them coincide with when we did a newsletter through MailChimp. And then here in July, that was following Arlington Street Fair, and it really drove a lot of people to the site. And then in August, we were in Snoqualmie Railroad Days, so that also drove some people here. And so we've had, a couple of people that would come up to the booth, and they may not have had any, they say, well, I don't have any money with me. And you think, yeah, okay, great. But then some orders appeared online. And also people that weren't local that had purchased like the first volume, the first book in the series when we did the newsletter, that the other ones were out. They sent in the order, and when they do place an order, you also get an email that you have an order pending. And then when you go to orders, whoops, there we go. To that page, it also tracks for you. Did you get you have to toggle it, but whether it's pending or did you send it out, and so you can track all of that. And you do get their emails, their phone number, but that's all required through PayPal. WooCommerce at the fair, did they pay on when we do it in person, we do PayPal. So we have one of those little Bluetooth deals that connect with your phone and either chip or slide it through, or you can manually put the credit card number in, credit or debit. So we took the orders, we took the payment that way. Can you add there? I'm not sure. I haven't had a problem with it, and I believe just some of the names I was looking at and some of the comments that they made with the order, it was clear that we already have them on the mailing list, and often that's where they get directed to the website to make the purchase comes from. All right, so it's pretty simple, and the thing I like about doing it here is it's all in one place. It's on the website. I already am fairly familiar with it, so I don't have to mess around with something else. Try to keep my life simple. Any other questions?
I have two, please.
Okay.
The first.
One to a customer.
No, please.
Sure.
The first is, what precautions do you take when you ship a physical book to keep it from getting banged up the way that these delivery companies do?
Okay, I send it USPS, and I have over the last couple of years those blue kind of bubble pack Amazon envelopes. I saved all of those. And the majority of them are the perfect size to slide the book in, and it's in there tight. And then sometimes I'll fold it over and tape that and maybe stick it in another one. When I send more than one book, I'd usually double bag it, as it were. And I haven't had anybody at least contact me that had a problem with damage. And I think mainly because the book slides in there and it's pretty tight, so that it, somebody would have to work pretty hard to cause some damage to it.
Okay, thank you. My last question is, I think that coupon thing is pretty interesting, and I know that you can't pay for a review, but I'm wondering
I'm
if
sorry,
it
you
would
can't
be
what?
you can't pay for a book review, but I'm wondering if one could do something like, hey, post a link to a review that you've done, and you can get a
Huh.
coupon for your next purchase, something like that that might drive up reviews a little bit.
I don't know. Any idea, Matt? Well, first they'd have to catch you.
I'm sorry, could you say it again?
If, for example, we say to somebody, if you send a link, email a link to a review that you've done, that you put up, we'll send you a coupon code for your next purchase. Is that kosher?
I believe that might be skirting the line. I think Amazon would probably say no, but as long as you don't abuse it and it's authentic and it's just a couple, I don't think it's a problem. Now I'm
And they'd have
permanently.
to catch you too.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what they're trying to catch is somebody out there blowing out reviews by paying a bunch of
Right.
nobodies to leave reviews. If you have somebody on your list and they left you an honest review and you guys all feel like you're being authentic, I don't see it as a problem. Amazon might like nitpick the words that I'm saying, but
Right.
I don't see that.
If that happens, then you say, okay, we won't do it anymore.
I say ethically. I think the official answer is probably no from Amazon, but I think ethically, if you guys are being authentic and you're not trying to scam the system, I don't see a problem in it. It's one of those things like it's like it's the letter of the law versus the intent.
Who asked that?
That was Diana, I think.
Diana. Thanks. That's a great idea. I like that.
But Tony, I don't know anyone using Facebook Store. Cool. Well, does anybody have any other questions in general for online stores or any other questions regarding this type of work? Hopefully this was helpful to everybody.
I think someone had a question before about the cost for WooCommerce and PayPal and all the different things. Is there an
okay.
cost that they pay?
All right. The WordPress basic subscription for the website, which is what we had to begin with, is somewhere around $10 a month, I think, something like that. And the upgrade with, WooCommerce, and there's a bunch of other things that comes with it too, is $300 a year. The cost, because you can, if you don't, if for some reason you don't want to use PayPal, WooCommerce also can take the payments for you, and that is the same as PayPal, 2.9% and 30 cents per transaction.
So it's not in addition to PayPal. It's you
No.
either pay PayPal or you pay them.
Right. So the way we have it set up with PayPal, and actually WordPress doesn't have anything to do with it, because once they click the link to go to PayPal to pay, then it takes them off of the website and takes them to PayPal's website. So it just goes through them directly. I don't know how their payment system works, because if the cost is the same, I didn't see any point in messing with it.
Yep, makes sense.
Awesome. Joel, thanks so much for showing us all your WooCommerce work. I've heard about WooCommerce a lot, and it's very interesting to see it actually in play here on the WordPress end. It sounds like you. I linked a. If anyone has any questions, I put a bunch of links in the chat, so feel free to go to the chat and see the links there. I linked some setup information, links to WooCommerce as well. If you have some additional questions, you can go examine the literature there. Joel, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you everybody for attending today. I know it's a rainy day, so hopefully we didn't interrupt everyone's nap. And real quick,
football. You interrupted football.
Aha! Sports ball. I'm checking the Red Sox Yankees score. Oh, 6-3. So Robert bailed out early. He's going to the pub for depression. So thank you guys. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks with Linda around going wide, being a wide author, and then also watch for the newsletter. All the information will be in there. And if you're not on the Pacific Coast time, make sure you make a note about that. So great. Thank you guys. Hope you have a great time.
All righty. Bye.